And it's me, right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our happy hour. You find your day on Sunday, August 25th, 2019. I'm joined here by my illustrious sisters, Debbie.
Debbie Deb, you're in the building.
And Daisy O.
Daisy O, ready for the show.
I'm Darren. My name is so nice, I gotta say it twice.
And we are on the
East side, the
east side of South Central.
My bad. Yeah, I'm a little flustered. It's been a busy day today, but
Yes.
we wanted to open up with Aaliyah because today makes 18 years since she was tragically taken away from us. Yeah, man. What would it have been like? What would music have been like if she was still around?
You know, I was
Daisy,
just
Devin?
thinking about that. I was just thinking about that today because, you know, I recognized the date. I'm like, okay, today is the 25th. I remember that night when we found out and saw on the news that her plane had crashed. And I was just thinking she would have been, what, 40 this year, maybe?
She
Or
was
35?
she was like 25.
Yeah.
So she would have been over 40. Yeah, she would have been like 43.
I thought she was 22 when she passed.
No, she was older. She was like 25.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I could have sworn she was 22. Anyways, yeah, she would have been 40 plus, and I'm sure she would have had kids. And her music, definitely, she would have had more. She would have definitely still been working with Missy, Timberland, all of them. I'm sure.
Or maybe she was just 21.
Oh, I think she was 22.
She was 22. She was 22. My bad.
Yeah.
So she would have been 40.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been her 40th birthday.
Why does she seem like she was so old? Like she seemed like she was, because she had been around our lives for so long.
Yeah, she
was
came out when she was just only 14.
Yeah, she was very young when she came out, so she had already been in the music industry for like over 10 years.
Exactly.
But I still have newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
Like I was looking through, unpacking and stuff, and so I still have the newspaper clippings. I was devastated.
Yes. It was just, and I was looking at videos too, like, Rock the Boat. That was the video that she was making.
Yeah.
When
they had just completed it.
When they completed that video on their way back. That just happened. But yeah, it's her memory is definitely gonna live on
forever and
ever. And all we can do is just celebrate her life. Better. And dying closer with our kids. And when I write him, he better get it on time. We really thought he could sing. When I say back in the day, remember Daisy? Are you that somebody?
This one. What?
You just have to go into it.
What'd you ask me?
Remember, Are You That Somebody? Remember we learned all the choreography. Like I was so, set on learning all.
Yeah, we learned the whole dance move.
Yes, because I was like, I need to get these moves, okay? Aaliyah got it. I gotta have it down pat. That's when the box was still out, and we was recording videos.
No, I remember everybody in the second grade knew how to do. Everybody, look, anytime it was a quiet moment in class, somebody would do that, just break down, banging on the tables. It's just because of No, and and people get sophisticated with it, because I would just use my palm. I'd do, but some people would get real into it and do it with their elbows.
All of that, okay?
They do it with their boom,
using a pencil.
Right. Man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the song was, it was everything. rest in peace, Aaliyah. Gone, but definitely not forgotten.
Never forgotten.
Yeah, I mean, because certainly music would have been completely, the landscape of music would have been different.
Beyonce would not have had like Destiny's Child. Like, she was killing the game. Aaliyah was before she passed away. Like,
and
really taking over.
Also in acting too. Like,
she was
just
in like
getting
movies.
started with, getting into movies and stuff. So I'm sure she probably would have been in numerous, movies.
Yeah, and I think she really did open up the lane for musicians to go into the route of acting. Like, musicians weren't really doing that before, except for like Whitney Houston.
Yeah,
Whitney Houston kind of like
died off.
the way.
Well, the big superstars. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so moving into new music, why don't we talk about this new album by you say Jidenna? So we got this new album called 85 to Africa. Okay, so that's just one track. But let me play this other one. This one is called Babusha with Gold Leaf. 16th Street bad boys. Come on, I want a suit looking like a cake. So ahead of my time, I should probably wait. Lady on my arm, lady on her arm. Never calm down with the lucky charm. Taking out your whole team like I'm Black Bomb. Nigga didn't got no D. Like
I like Jidenna. I think he's great. Also, have you guys heard he's looking for wifey?
Really?
Like out there. Because I have met him before, like at some function, and he is super tall and cute, and I miss my chance.
And he's from Africa.
I know he is really
by
way
of Africa.
By way of Africa. Yeah. His family is from Africa, but I think he's Nigerian. But he is very handsome in person, and he's tall. Like, he's super tall. But y'all, he looking for wifey, so just so.
No, but I heard him on the Breakfast Club saying that he was in a like a polyamorous relationship where it was a woman. He was with a girl who had another man, and he was talking about how heartbroken he was.
Really?
Trying to sleep at night, knowing that she was sleeping in some other nigga's bed.
Oh,
that's some real conversation.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting. I saw a clip of him at the Breakfast Club interview. He was talking about also like growing up in a household where his parents, it was just domestic violence and it wasn't like a good atmosphere, but he tuned everything out from music. That's how he got into rapping and everything.
Right. But he went to Stanford with all those folks. Yeah, that's okay. He's good. I like his music. I think he's super good.
I like him too.
Go ahead, Jidenna.
Very cultural.
Oh yeah. All right, let's move on. Do you guys know that Missy Elliot came out with a new
Yes,
EP?
I do. Yes, I do.
This one's called "Throw It Back" from the Iconology EP.
We so hyped.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys seen the visuals?
No, I haven't seen it.
Why she got this? She had like
them double dashes coming from her braids.
Yeah, well, no, that double dashes was there. She had it was a picture of her braids, like her braids spelled out Missy. Like, it was dope.
Crazy.
It was
I was reading the article. They were saying Missy's in 2056, and we still
right
for real.
Okay,
For real.
even with her with her other videos in the 90s.
She's always been futuristic.
Yeah, she's always been futuristic.
No, but I know. Yeah, me and Diego were listening to it, but it kind of sounds like some booty bass throwback, right? This is like some real like.
Right.
Listen to that bass.
Mhm.
And I was like, if you're a DJ and you're not playing Missy Elliott this week, I don't really know if I can call you a DJ because, like, she really is a pioneer in the field of music. Like, you gotta pay tribute, you gotta pay respect for the fact that she just came out with a new album.
Right. Let's play this other track called "Cool Off."
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. 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 Pop it. Drop it.
Yeah, so check it out. She got it. This is a new EP called Iconology. And she's gonna be honored with the Video Vanguard Award tomorrow at the MTV VMAs.
Yeah, go ahead, Missy. You deserve it.
Absolutely. All right, so the next one is, you guys ever heard about this female rapper called Rapsody?
Yes, Darren.
Rapsody. So check out this new album she came out with called Eve. This one was featuring D'Angelo and the Jidenna.
Oh.
It's called
D'Angelo.
Okay.
Boy, you sharp, boy. Look at the face on you, boy. Ooh, boy, you took the sword on your head, boy. Yo, wait, thinking like back in the days when niggas wore fades. Silk tie cap, yeah, trying to catch away. Trying to catch away. Trying to catch away. Thinking like back in the days when niggas wore fades. Silk tie cap, just trying to catch away.
I mean, she got flow.
She cool.
Yeah, I'm messing with Rapsody. She's cool. I like
Yeah.
her.
Let me
I like her
play
flow.
Let me play this other one. It's called Sojourner. But she got all these features. She got Elle Varner. She got Queen Latifah,
Nice.
DJ Morton.
Oh yeah, I gotta check it
Yeah.
out.
So this one's Sojourner featuring J. Cole. Yeah, so check it out. It's a brand new album called Eve. This is her third album from Rapsody. So check it out. It's really
She was one of the people that Cardi B had pointed out. Remember we were talking about how like everybody comes up, these female rap artists like Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, how they talk about like sex and their sexuality or whatever, the hot girl summer type of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I know Cardi B, she had reference Rapsody. She was like she's one of the really good lyricists, female MCs that's out there, and we don't give them enough love or
You want to focus so much on
Yeah, I mean,
and it's her third album,
right. She needs to get more credit.
She needs to get more recognition. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so check it out. All right, so coming up next, this is a single called "Have a Good Time." This is Charlie Heat and Sid. It just came out this week. Starts off a little slow.
It's very slow, but it's cool.
More sultry.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. I love Sid.
Yeah, so this one's called "Have a Good Time." So the new single, so check it out.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, I want to play you guys something else. This is more pop. This one's called "Blank Marquee" by an artist called Yuna. Yeah, it's off. This is off of her album called Road. It has like a Calvin Harris feel to it.
Yeah, totally.
It does.
Making new acquaintances, friends in high places.
so let's switch it up again. Let's go back to hip hop and rap. This is
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
That's crazy too.
Ooh, why you say she crazy?
She's crazy.
Why?
I mean, just how she's what's it called?
This one's called We Ain't Trippin' featuring Just Britney.
That's funny. She said we ain't tripping because she seems to always
Be
trip.
tripping. Oh, maybe that's why she had to release it.
Well, damn.
You guys know I'm watching, some of the reality TV shows.
Will she be on Love and Hip
on,
Hop?
no, she's on Growing Up Hip Hop.
Oh.
Who's daughter is she?
You said who? What?
It's Growing Up Hip Hop. Isn't that a show based off of like people who are like?
Yeah. So she's under what's her name? Waka Flocka's mom. Deb.
Yeah.
She's like a well-known manager or whatever, and Deb was managing Johnny Blaze, so she got a chance to, be on the show. And she was on Love and Hip Hop as well, but she wasn't like a main character or anything like that. So she was just getting into it with people, because
She got a smart mouth.
she has a smart mouth, and if somebody comes for her, she's not gonna back down. She'll just, go full force without thinking. She got a rep out here.
Well, was she based out here in LA?
No.
In Atlanta?
I don't know where she's. I believe she's from New York.
Okay. Well, anyway. Well, all right. So the song is called We Ain't Trippin' featuring Just Britney. Check it out. That sounds like
It's cool.
Yeah, she's not a bad rapper.
All right. So moving on. It's an artist called Ly.Ebs.
Ly.Ebs.
I don't even know that's how you say her name. Ly.Ebs?
Ly.Ebs.
Ly.Ebs?
Ly.Ebs.
Ly.EBSS?
Ly.Ebs.
This one's called Different. For New Waves EP.
Is it just me or do all these slow songs start sounding the same?
They do.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, her voice is nice, but
She has a nice
it
voice, but it sounds like
like
similar.
Sid
Like
and
there's
Charlie.
nothing. Yeah.
And Yuna.
They all sound the same.
It's a nice vibe to it though.
Yeah.
It's all right. All right. So one more before we go. This one's called Voyage by Lord Haiti.
Who's Lord Haiti?
I don't know.
Oh.
You guys just like the music and just be like, hey, I'm
Oh, I like that.
you got that what you don't want to do for love?
Right.
Yeah.
What you won't do?
Who's clapping?
Am I? No, what's it?
Oh, we was doing the different. I was focusing on the wrong.
Okay, this one has a little nostalgic.
Yeah. Yeah, so check it out. Yeah. Using that sample from Bobby Caldwell.
Okay.
You want to do for love?
Yeah.
Yeah. So check that out. That's Lord Haiti. This song is called Voyage, featuring Cherry Soul. But anyway, let's do the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear
Bro.
that Hasbro has now owns the Death Row back catalog?
Yeah, how much did they spend for this?
I don't even know.
It
I
was
don't even know why the hell Hasbro needs to buy an indie record company.
They probably gonna shift it around and bring in some new artists.
Hasbro, the toy company.
Why? Yeah.
I don't know. Why
We're
would
gonna start making music for kids. From
Death Row Records though? Like what? No, baby.
Yeah, so the badass kids can.
Right.
No, I don't think so. Why would they do? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they just needed to acquire acquire a business and then
They probably like won it in a card game or something.
probably poker. They're playing poker.
Presented by Hasbro.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what Hasbro is like a toy manufacturer.
Yeah.
They make toys for kids. So I think it's kind of ironic, yo.
Weird.
Yo. But anyway, so we're gonna see soon what's going on, why they're doing it like that. But
Well,
anyway.
Death Row is now owned by Hasbro.
Let's see what's
I bet you it's gonna be kids music. You guys, what's poppin'? 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 What? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What? Oh, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? What? Hey, hey.
oh, what's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Ew.
We be getting too high for what's poppin' though.
What's poppin'?
What's
Okay, what is
this
poppin'
week,
is
y'all?
Popeyes chicken sandwiches. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What's poppin' is these Popeyes chicken sandwiches just going
Ridiculous.
No, people are going crazy.
You said the lines.
The lines is outside the door. Okay.
When have you ever seen a line outside of the door of a Popeyes?
I've never seen a line outside of the door. Like,
And the drive-thru was full.
the drive-thru was full outside the parking lot. Like,
Not that
what
chicken
is
from
going on?
Popeyes.
Like, what is going on? I just don't understand.
I know what's really happened. They put some crack in it.
I believe.
they put
There's a
some crack.
movie about that. Have you guys seen it? Where
No,
like
I
this
heard.
family creates oh my god, who was in it? Ly.Ebs is in it.
Oh, with
And-
T.I.?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And he throwing those nuts of
Yes, a weed.
And
Yes.
it's like weed chicken, and like that's how he brings his family chicken business back.
Yes. Yes.
But that was like a
Yes.
Netflix movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a low budget, but it was actually
It was
really
actually
good.
fake. Because I was dying. Like, what the heck? Are you serious? Because T.I. and Mike, no, T.I. is
T.I. and Ly.Ebs are brothers.
Are brothers.
Yeah, and then
And
the
T.I.
mom
is
is
supposed to be
sick.
well off. The mom is sick. He comes back to Atlanta to try and save the business. But then Ly.Ebs, he's like, I don't know, like, what the
Right.
heck? I don't know what to do. But then he, like,
Accidentally throws some
puts some-
weed in the
like,
oil.
loads of it.
And then starts to cook it, and then all of a sudden, all these people start coming back. So it's like, what did I do? And so T.I. finds out about it. You gotta watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really
It's
good.
very good.
But he basically saves his family business from
Yeah.
his weed and oil for the
Pretty
chicken.
And that's the end of the movie. You got
Yeah.
weed chicken.
He got
Yes.
weed chicken, and they make it into a franchise.
Oh,
Yes.
my goodness. They don't call it weed chicken though. They
No,
call
it's
it-
called something else. It's like
Oh.
No, I forgot what it's called. Okay, y'all gotta watch this on Netflix.
But his Popeyes is basically doing that pretty much. They put something in that chicken.
And no,
Well,
I
from
think
what,
it's
I,
fried sauce.
from what I heard is so let's talk about the composition of this chicken sandwich, right?
Right.
So the chicken sandwich is supposed to be like this, right? It's supposed to fit,
And
fit
both
like
these
right.
So
It's
it's
supposed to
huge.
fit like it's one of them dead doggone sandwiches that they say like it takes all of your hand. It
Right.
fits firmly like into the palm of your hand.
Uh-huh.
It ain't smashed like you see them raggedy ass burgers from Burger King
Right.
and from Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's.
You get them
Carl's
Chick-fil-A
Jr.
sandwiches. It look like they just had them piled up and they squished them
Squished
together.
together.
You know, like, oh, let me make sure the pickles is in here real good.
Right. That's why Popeyes is rivaling Chick-fil-A right now.
Right.
But
And so it's huge.
but also I think they cook it in buttermilk.
Oh, that is a secret.
I think they cook it in buttermilk and plus it's $3.99.
$3.99.
$3.99. Are you out of your mind?
That's the deal. Yeah, so people are coming up on these chicken
Child,
sandwiches.
look, the
And it's going crazy.
employees they didn't have it up
They tired.
to here.
They
Okay,
tired.
they tired. Okay, they like don't come to Popeyes.
No,
Okay,
I do
we ain't
feel
got
bad
no
for them.
sandwiches no more.
I do feel bad for them because of anybody. They're the ones who are suffering. You know,
Yeah.
all these crazy ass people. Did you guys see? I seen on Twitter. It was some crazy ass dude that he in the drive-through. This dude hopped in the window of the drive-through, hopped into the restaurant, and they're over here trying to like try to beat him up because he's over here going crazy because they ain't got had no sandwiches. This nigga gets out of the he gets out of his car and hops in the drive-through, into the restaurant through the drive-through window. And they're over here trying to hit him with a broom and everything. Like, get him out of here, get him out of here. And then I seen another video of this other dude going crazy. Like, he takes his bag, they give him a bag, and he takes his bag and he throws it back at the worker.
Oh no, people was being disrespectful now.
Because I guess they didn't have the sandwich, so he just ordered a 2-piece or something.
And then throw it back.
No, I saw another video. It was somebody recording a guy because they put a sign up saying we won't have any more chicken sandwiches until Friday, and this was like on a Wednesday. And the dude walking up, he read the sign and he turned right back around. Like I'm not here for nothing else. Y'all ain't got the sandwiches.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Popeyes is cleaning house.
Yes,
okay,
they said
collecting money.
Because of Twitter, they saved $23 million in advertising.
Yeah, they don't have to advertise.
Because look, everybody on Twitter was up here doing videos of them eating a damn sandwich.
Yes.
Like it's some kind of communal event.
Child, they didn't know he came up with a song. Okay, have you heard it was like 4 dudes singing
like they a bunch of drunk dudes around a fucking burning trash can doing a whole doo-wop routine. Singing praises over here to a damn chicken sandwich. A juicy, succulent chicken sandwich with chipotle sauce on it.
With chipotle
with
sauce
Cajun
and pickles
chipotle sauce and 2 pickles.
Well, I do miss me some Popeyes. I do. I don't eat
I'm not gonna lie and say I don't want that chicken sandwich. I'm gonna try it too.
That's
But I am not about to stand in a long ass line.
I'm gonna wait about 2-3 months
Right.
and then I'm gonna go eat it. I can wait. I can wait. It ain't like I ain't had no chicken before.
Exactly.
Damn.
In other food news, you guys were saying cattle farmers were going after the Beyond Burger and Impossible Burgers for labeling their food as meat.
Yes. They are coming after them with a vengeance because it's all out war. Because they are threatened.
They're losing money too because everybody is becoming vegan, vegetarian.
Nobody needs to eat all that meat because first of all, nobody needs to eat all that meat. Second of all, if they wasn't injecting all those animals with all them hormones and shit, maybe we wouldn't have anything to worry about. Maybe if there wasn't, if McDonald's actually offered fresh beef instead of all that 100% beef that they trademark and fill with soy, you know, maybe people would actually appreciate the meat. But you know what? On another point, these motherfuckers, they sit up here and they have all this cattle that's grazing on all this land, contributing to carbon, greenhouse gas emissions, right? Because what cows do, they fart, right?
Yeah.
They eat up all the grass, and they fart. They fart out methane gas. Methane gas is so dangerous to our ozone layer and to our atmosphere. It's not good to have a bunch of cows up here farting and shit all over the place. Excuse my language. But the other part is what are they doing with the excess meat, right?
Right.
They're sending it overseas. So in a sense, we're over here suffering from global warming because they decide to have too much cattle. Right? They're raising too much cattle and they want to send it over to China and to Korea and to other places to make them start eating meat. Right? It's a business plan, right? Supply and demand. You gotta have people demanding more meat. So now that Beyond Burger and these Impossible Burgers, they got these Burger King commercials. Oh, it tastes like a real robber. You guys see those commercials, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good.
And so now they feel threatened. So now, just like any other lobbying group in America, they're going to try to fight them legally to try and get them to remove the name meat, which I don't think is going to work. People are still going to go.
Yeah, and it's quote unquote meat. Like there's little signs that says meat, so that's how they can get away with it because it's not really advertised as like real meat. So.
Yo,
it is what it is.
I really could care less about these. Most of them are big agribusinesses, and even if they are small-time farmers, you know, I'm sorry, but hey,
I just don't believe in killing all those animals.
Yeah,
I know.
And injecting them with hormones, like I'm
that part,
that.
injecting them with hormones. Like, why can't you just
But it's the mass production of them. I
It's
can
mass-
see it's
mass
yeah,
production.
it's the
It's
mass.
right.
And we don't even use the whole cow. Like
I know.
if you're gonna do something like that, use the whole thing so it don't go to waste.
They do. They make them. They turn into hot dogs. What you talking about?
Oh,
They
yeah.
turn all them cow ears and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
they just grind it all up and turn it into nice beef hot dogs.
Okay.
Right. You know,
Right.
eating a hot dog a day can cause you heart disease.
I believe it.
Oh snap!
I believe
Eating
it.
one hot dog.
I mean, I was
every
just
day.
watching Fast Food Nation again recently, and you saw that documentary years and years ago, right? Of the guy who ate McDonald's every day,
Yeah,
all
right.
his meals.
Super size me.
Super Size Me, yeah, it was Super Size Me, yeah. Fast Food Nation is a book, and Super Size Me came out after that. But yeah, I was just looking at that, and like, it's not healthy for you.
No. At all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, cattle farmers start learning how to code or something, you know? No, I'm serious. I mean, because a lot of those people out there in middle America, when jobs were lost in the urban centers, when jobs were sent overseas to Mexico and over to China, where were they at? They didn't give a damn then.
True.
So just like now, you have to adopt and adapt to the economy. If nobody wants to eat your shitty meat, then
Stop
why don't you
making
go plant something that people are interested in?
Right.
Why don't you go plant some beets or something?
Some healthy shit.
Right.
Right.
Nobody has sympathy just because you want shit to go your way.
Yeah.
All
Excuse my
right now,
language.
dear.
Anyway,
Come
sorry.
on.
But let's move on to another topic.
Have you guys seen the TV show, The Righteous Gemstones on HBO? Y'all, this show is so funny. Like the creator, he's the guy that plays in Pineapple Express.
Oh, you're talking about yeah, I know he's the one who had Eastbound Down and also
Yeah.
Vice Principals.
Right, exactly. So he's the creator of the show, also like a main writer, and one of the main character in the show as well. But it's about this mega like family church. So this family owns the church, and it's 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, and then their father, and the father's wife just passed away. So you can kind of see the father grieving his wife's death, and then the kids just causing like havoc. Like they get into some deep trouble, and I can't even explain it because you have to watch the show. But it brings the topic into discussion, the mega churches, and literally there's a scene, and I would just explain this, but there's a scene after they collect tithes and offering, and it looked like a casino. Like all the money that was coming in through the church, it looked like a casino. Like, and I had to think about that. Like, dang, at these mega churches, they do collect tithe and offering. What does it look like in the back?
Wow.
When they
They
get
have
cash
the money
money.
machine.
No, but
They have money machines.
but look, it even goes back to how opulent that they were living. 'Cause I haven't seen the whole first episode, but I've seen parts of it. But they live on a compound.
It's huge.
But it really makes you question, why are we putting so much money into these leaders of these mega organizations so that they could go around with 3, 4 private jets? Wait a second, why should even, if you are a televangelist, why should you get your own private Lear jet? If you're over here, oh, well, I'm doing God's work and I can't sit in economy. I can't even sit in a commercial flight because I can't sit next to these regular heathens. I might get infected with their sinful ways.
But they, I mean, in this family, it shows that they have 3 private planes: the Father, the Son, and what's the other one?
The girl?
The Holy Ghost.
They have a plane full of Holy Ghost.
They have a plane, y'all. The Father is one plane. The Son is another plane. The next plane is the Holy Ghost.
I totally missed that one because I was like, what?
The sister.
Come on.
No,
I'm
but
not
yeah.
about to hilarious.
It's a great show, and I was just, it's comedy. So the show, it makes light of these mega churches, but it also brings to the attention of the viewers of like what's really happening behind the scenes.
Well, no, I mean, but it's a real big critique because these organizations, these mega churches, they do operate like that.
Yeah.
And it has contributed to the fact why younger people, why a lot of millennials and a lot of Generation Xers and stuff like that don't go to church anymore. You know, why am I giving 10% of my money just so you can live opulent?
Right.
Just so that you can create a heaven on earth.
Right.
Forget that. No.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Go check it out.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
Yeah.
Also, you guys, another show on HBO, the Black Lady Sketch Show.
A Black Lady sketch.
A Black Lady Sketch Show. I can't even. Derek, can you bring up the actors in it? Cause I know
Robin
one
Thede.
of them, Robin Thede.
Yeah, she's the creator of the show.
And then Quinta, right?
Yeah, that's Issa Rae's cousin though, I think, also.
Robin Thede?
Yeah.
Really?
I met her like years ago. Like, yeah, she's a creator, she's a writer.
Right, because she worked a lot with Larry Wilmore, right? On Larry Wilmore's show, and I know Larry Wilmore, he was instrumental in creating Insecure for HBO.
Oh, right,
It was actually starring Robin Thede, Issa Rae, Ashley Nicole Black, Gabrielle Dennis, and Quinta Brunson.
Yeah.
So it was created by Robin Thede.
Yeah, they are hilarious. The first 2 episodes, I will admit that it really did. I wasn't sold on the show, and I was like, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of the season.
Right. Well, the first episode had Angela. The first episode title was called "Angela Bassett is the Baddest Bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah, and Angela Bassett was in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just like the sketches, you know.
Yeah, the sketches are
funny.
And it's like all women, but it's very confusing because it's supposed to be like the end of the world.
Right. And I was kind of thrown off, like, what?
I'm just waiting to see what's gonna come out of it.
Because
Like,
in between each sketches, like, it's the 4 women, like, they're in,
Right.
I don't know whose apartment or
Right.
condo or whatever, but they're like, you know, just bonding, talking, having conversation, drinking, and getting into little disputes with each other. And then they go into different sketches. But then I'm like, okay, that's what threw me off was the end of the world thing. Like, where's the concept? Where is this going? Like, but the 3rd and 4th episode, oh my gosh, those were hilarious. I was really laughing. Like the first 2 episodes, I wasn't laughing at all. Like I was just looking at it, like what is going on here? But yeah, you guys check it out.
what was the other show on OWN that you were talking about, David?
David Makes Man.
What is that about?
It's about a young boy growing up in Florida. I'm not sure if it's Miami, but he's just I can't really go into detail because I only watched like the 2nd episode. I don't even know the 1st episode, but the 2nd episode it was pretty good. It seems like he had like a mentor, an older guy that had passed away. I don't know how he passed away, but he still sees him.
Oh, okay.
So he's still like the guy is like
In his head?
It's in his head, like trying to guide him and not going like the direction he went. And the dude that keeps popping up in his dreams and whatnot. He was, I want to say, a drug dealer, or he used to be a drug dealer. And he sees the young boy going that path because
Trying to save him.
Because the dude's son is actually going down that path as they speak or whatever, because his uncle is in that world, is in the drug world. So it's you guys gotta check it out too.
But it's good. It's good. It's new content on
Yes, new content on
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes.
What else is happening out here in these streets?
Well, yesterday the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, Andrew Luck, has indicated to the team that he's going to retire right before the season's about to start.
What?
In the middle of training.
How many years has he played?
He's been in there, He's been playing for like 7 seasons, I think. About 7
Oh.
seasons.
Well, 7 seasons.
It's about
is
time
like
to go.
10
He's
years.
tired. His body probably hurt. He's been
Right.
injured.
Like 20
And that
years.
is and that's what some people were attributing to it because he's still young, he's still relatively healthy. I mean, he's still healthy. And yeah, I mean, I think he went to Stanford and studied architecture.
Yeah, so he's
That was
like,
good.
yeah.
So I mean, and he already has like $80 million from his contract
Oh,
already.
yeah.
He's
Well, he
fine.
did.
He's
So,
like,
so
bye guys,
he,
I'm not gonna die.
he's not
Right.
he's not mentally in it
Right.
anymore.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, and we should be promoting more of that. You should,
Yeah.
you don't have
Get
to be
in
no
there.
Tom Brady and be playing
Do
for
a few
15,
years.
20 years in the league, you know?
And get out.
Right.
Right, you got your money.
What did Daddy always
Go.
say? NFL
Yeah.
stands for not for long.
No, it's not. It's not. You know, and you better be lucky that you
Not
have a
for
good
long.
offensive line that's gonna protect you. You know, if
Right.
you don't have a good offensive line, his ass is gonna be getting clocked out. I mean, I'd be probably saying the same thing. What? I got $80 million in the bank, and
Hell, I'm finna
our,
buy some
our team this year
Invest.
ain't that good. He probably in practice right now. Oh man, these niggas.
Yeah.
I don't know about these dudes.
It's time to roll.
No, that was a very
Peace,
smart
y'all.
decision.
I'll see you guys when you guys play in Europe.
Right, right.
Not really. Wait, how did you say how old he was?
It's like late 20s.
Late 20s, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in other, we talked about this last week regarding the NFL and Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
Sitting at the table getting this big deal for the halftime show. And a bunch of people weighed in this past week, including Colin Kaepernick's lawyers, who basically were like, quote unquote, is cold-blooded, what Jay-Z is doing. And a lot of people in the celebrity world have weighed in on it. Some people are for it, some people are against it. I'm totally against it because my thing is if you use this as an opportunity to sit at the table, and this is a social justice related topic that you were promoting from the get-go, then don't collect no money for it.
Right.
Like, you don't need no more money, Jay-Z. If this is really a area where you're trying to make change, just have a seat at the table. That's paying enough.
What if, I'm just saying,
Go ahead.
what if he used that money for the greater good of the people?
Well, we gonna see about that. Because if he does do that, then that's gonna be another topic of conversation.
Well, yeah, I would really hope he did something
He
good
better.
with that money.
Jay-Z, I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah. Because
Use
Jay-Z,
that
I
money.
do understand where you're coming from, and I want to say, like I said earlier, with both sides, Colin Kaepernick, with his decision, on not moving forward with the NFL not being a part of the organization anymore. I understand that, and him with the kneeling and everything, and then Jay-Z, like, he had his whole thing with being on Kaepernick's side, and now he's doing it. Like, maybe his strategy is different than Colin's, but I feel like the intention behind what he's doing is good. Like, his intention was good.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
It's a questionable
his
decision.
intention.
It's very
It's
questionable.
His intention was to make
Make
money.
money.
It wasn't to sit up here and to advocate for the treatment of players and things like that. It was so that he could make some money.
And you said he didn't consult with Colin Kaepernick.
He didn't consult with Colin
and he said that
Kaepernick.
he did.
And then
Did Colin have a comment? Did he say anything?
Well, no, he didn't directly say it, but another NFL player who had also gotten, I forget his name is Eric. He had also gotten in with issue with the league for kneeling. So he tweeted back at Jay-Z saying like, dude, like, what are you doing, man? Like, you doing? So and Kaepernick had responded to him saying like, thank you, you've always supported me.
Right.
So I mean, I think Kaepernick is smart enough to know not to just go guns a blazing at Jay-Z, not knowing what's gonna happen. And I feel like that's where a lot of us are. Is we just don't know what's next. But the situation is fishy.
Yeah, regardless.
You don't do that with people already distrusting the NFL as it is. You don't just go and say, hey, I'm gonna, just imagine this. Just imagine a county commission is over here they're over here denigrating black and brown people constantly, right? It's county commission, right? They're not allowing black people or brown people to own any land, to start any businesses or anything like that. And then a black man joins the commission and says, hey, look, I'm here. Am I really going to believe that the county commission is going to change just because your black ass is over there sitting at the fucking table? Just because you eating the same food that they're eating? I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry. What are you going to do for me? You say you're going to look out for me? How do I know that?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know
That's
what?
why I'm saying
I don't care. I always have a interesting feeling towards people, especially former drug dealers who came back and say, you know, I made all this money. I don't know. I'm always going to, especially because I work with, you know, people who have issues or difficulty with substance abuse, who are addicts out there. I don't respect any kind of drug dealer. Hell no. Outside of weed, you know, but if you're over here selling crack and shit to people, man,
and that's how Jay-Z made his money.
You made your money. You made your money, right? How are you going to atone for all those lives that were lost? All those families that you helped break up? With you selling that shit,
and then you go and do something like this.
I don't know.
Ooh, child.
I don't know. That's how I feel all the time. And I know I know Jay-Z he does have scholarships out there. He did go out there and help those fathers on Father's Day get out of jail and stuff like that.
But he ain't got no school like LeBron James. I'm just saying, LeBron James has a whole school that has like a 100% graduation rate or something like that. Like the students in LeBron James's school are doing excellent when it comes to like finding careers or going to college. Jay-Z, what are you doing for your community? Where's your schools? That's just all.
Well, Jay-Z, he is the richest man in hip hop. Right? He is one of the richest. He's one of the richest black men in America. If not I think he's the richest. I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He's like, he
right.
just made that top list.
One of the richest. Well, he's not the richest black man. I'm sorry. The richest black man is that guy who paid for Morehouse College.
Right.
That other black man. But let's just think about that. So I don't know. All I'm saying is that it doesn't settle with me right. It's never gonna settle with me right.
Yeah.
And you know,
let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Jay-Z is gonna get paid. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. He's gonna get paid, and then he's gonna try to see. But that's the thing. If you in social justice work, it's just like you being a preacher and stuff like that. I'm not expecting you over here to be getting paid and shit like that.
Thank you.
Especially if you have money.
That's the point.
You know? I'm not expecting you to be getting paid because it's not about the money. You're talking about capitalism versus social justice work. And to me, that shit doesn't really mix too well.
Nope.
It doesn't.
Nope. Yeah, so, we're going to move on.
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Miley Cyrus. Let's talk about something else.
Liam Hemsworth definitely filed for a divorce this week, and she was quoted saying, "My divorce isn't because of me cheating."
Yeah, right.
But he officially filed for a divorce. So, yeah, we talked about this last week as well. I'm happy for him.
Yes,
do what you gotta do. If you're not happy with that girl, move on.
But Miley Cyrus, like I said, she was going on a Twitter rant saying, like over the years she's always been like transparent, or she's always admitted like her wrongdoings, and she's always just been open with being wanting to explore different things or whatever. Right.
Are you trying to clean it up?
I was just trying to get my thought out. But where was I going with this day?
I don't know. That she went on Twitter basically saying that she wasn't cheating.
Right, because she was saying all of this, it wasn't because she was cheating. It was just because like she is not happy with
the marriage.
But why did she file for a divorce first? She was just letting linger because look, the reason, the thing, I think she dog protests too much. I think she went on Twitter and just said that shit because she knows he filed for a divorce, and Liam could go straight up there and say, "Hey, look at all this stuff on you know, had all this stuff on Twitter that she was cheating on me.
Yeah.
Give me some spousal support.
I don't blame him.
But I don't think Liam is like.
He's probably not gonna do it, but her
No.
lawyers probably said, "Hey, Miley, you know, we gotta clear this up. So you gotta
More than likely.
you gotta go out there and say something,
He
you know,
still
to
he
clear
would
the air."
still be entitled to spousal support. Yeah.
If she makes more money, she probably does make more money than he
I'm
does.
pretty sure she does. 'Cause
He's a B,
she's
he's
been
a,
working
he's,
since
a
she
B,
was
he's a
like,
B movie actor.
yeah, and she's been working since she was 11. Like, she has bank for real. But yeah, in other news, Chris Brown is expecting a new son with ex-girlfriend Anika Harris. Really?
Wait, what?
Didn't
I didn't even know that. Where you hear
What do you mean?
that?
It was on the Shade Room earlier today. What are you guys talking about?
What?
You guys didn't know about that?
No,
Ah.
this is news for me. Who is Anika Harris?
Amika.
Who?
It says Anika.
What's her name? Amika?
Yeah, Amika Harris.
Okay, so Amika Harris.
Who is
That's his
that?
ex-girlfriend who is pregnant with his son.
So now he got 3 babies, 2 babies.
2 babies, right?
Oh, okay, his daughter and then.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
His
Man,
daughter
thank you.
royalty.
How is she pregnant and
And that's his
it's his
ex.
ex?
Well, obviously, he was still on the creep. Yikes.
I don't know how many months pregnant she is.
They were still creeping.
They
They
was
was
still
still
creep.
Creeping. That's what happens after you break up. You still creeping.
Still creeping. They trying to get that old thing back. I guess.
Either way, he's expecting a new baby boy. Congratulations, Chris Brown.
He just started his tour too.
Oh yeah, he gonna have to make some money because in 18 years he's gonna be helping support Amika as well.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and
the truth.
you know,
He
hey,
ain't got money, so.
Right.
Yeah,
Did you
well,
guys? Did you
I
guys?
don't know. After the third or fourth one, it's probably gonna start hurting his pocket. I'm
More
just
than
saying.
likely. I mean, did you guys hear about the prominent black family, Dr. Marsha Edwards? They found her and her 2 children dead in the house. There was a wellness check, and the police went in there to do a wellness check, and they found the 2 kids who were adults, living their lives, going into careers, you know, in college. And this doctor is suspected to have killed her children and then turned the gun on herself. So it's a murder-suicide investigation, which is really sad.
Didn't you say she had posted something on social media saying?
The same day saying, I have the best kids in the world or something like that. The same day that her and her kids were found. So it's very suspicious. Everybody is like, what's going on? It's a prominent black family. The mayor weighed in because the son worked in the marketing department for the city. So it's just really sad.
That is.
Yeah, they lost their lives and they were really heading for some great things.
That seems just like some straight up mental.
That's a myth, but no.
I don't know.
Like, was she like a
No, that's
family
that's,
practice doctor, or was she like a psychologist?
like orthopedic
She
surgeon.
was an orthopedic surgeon.
She works with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just like, her and her husband were both doctors.
I don't know what
Are
that
both
is.
doctors. But yeah,
But
so.
it also speaks to another level of how people be fronting on social media.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to bring
social,
this up.
Right,
Mhm.
social media is man, it's a catch-22 because
Yeah.
people out here literally will do everything to have the
that
perfect
perfect
story or the perfect picture of them being happy that they're not actually living happy lives.
Yeah.
They do experiences just for the photos and for the photo credits to
Right.
put on there without actually enjoying what they're doing.
Right.
And it's just very creepy that that same post came out the same day
Like,
that
what?
she killed herself and her 2 children. It's just really like, I'm just sending prayers out to the families and those
Yeah.
affected. But mental health and wellness and checking in on people is like, it's really important.
Very important.
Super important. That was unexpected. But
Rest in peace.
yeah, rest in peace. In other news,
In other news,
the
have you
fire
guys
is
heard
happening.
about the Amazon
Yeah.
fires? Yes. The
There's-
forest fires.
There's definitely forest fires
Or
still
man-made.
burning, man-made, and this is after the Amazonian tribe just won this huge case, federal case, and I really was like, yes, they just won, and then all of a sudden these man-made fires just break out after the Amazonian tribe got their lands back.
Like, that's crazy. No, you know what? That's not.
No.
It's not crazy. Okay.
It's real shady.
It's shady and it's just.
But-
it goes back to where it's supposed to be.
It's shady, Devin, but most importantly, it's going to really affect our global climate. And that's
Yes.
what I think a lot of people are going to start to feel the ramifications and the effects.
Already.
I mean, the Amazon contributes to a large portion.
20% of the air that we breathe,
Yeah.
basically 1 out of the 5 breaths you take
Is from the
comes
Amazon.
from the Amazon. I mean, but it has. But listen to this part. Listen to this part. Here's why I'm thinking. I read a lot of stuff. So look, here's my analysis of it. So look, these farmers out here. So look, Brazil has a new president, right? The president is like Trump. He is a little crazy. And he does not support environmental regulations, especially the environmental protections that have been protecting the Amazon forest. Okay, so let's start there. So the guy's not even enforcing the environmental protection law, so nobody's out there protecting the lands.
Right.
So part 2, you have these farmers who go in intentionally setting fire to the Amazon in order to create what?
Land.
To create fertile land to either graze cattle or to grow crops,
Right.
produce, right? So let's think about why a place like Brazil needs to grow more food or graze more cattle. And let's relate it back to the fact that we are in a trade war with China. So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that we export to China? We export crops like soy, things like, soy is a major one,
Right.
corn, other things
Yeah.
like that, and cattle, beef. Beef is one of the big things that we we send over to China. So those 2 commodities are things that the Chinese have put tariffs on. So before, to sell a bushel of soybeans, right? A farmer would get like $10. Now they're getting like $7.
Yeah.
So now they're losing money. They don't know how much to plant next year because they don't know how much they're gonna get.
Right.
And China, because of this war that's been escalating, this past week it was a whole new round of tariffs that China has imposed on U.S. goods. So let's think, so what is a tariff? A tariff is basically a tax on imported goods in China. So China, they're importing goods, right? They come to the place. In order for the importer to receive it, they have to pay a tariff, right? And if the tariff is too high, then they just let it sit there. So literally, a lot of soybeans are going rotten, just sitting there at the docks in China because the Chinese government is like, we don't want your shit, you guys are fucking with us. So these farmers are losing money. So that's on the American front. That's the American farmers who are suffering. But at the same time, China has been reducing the tariffs on other countries like Brazil in order to get them to import soybeans and beef from Brazil.
Yeah,
right? If they don't get it from us, they're going to get it from somewhere else.
Exactly.
So now Brazil has this increased demand for crops and for cattle.
Then now they got to use
But
the Amazon.
now, how are they going to do that without increasing capacity, right?
But it's going to kill everybody in the whole
They don't give a damn about that. They care about the money. The money.
And that's
Let's not
what's
forget.
wrong.
That's why we have issue with
That's
Jay-Z is
wrong
because
with
he's
the
doing it
world.
for the money. You're not doing it for the issue. You're doing it for the money.
Right.
And in a situation like this where there's so many protections not being respected, let's think about the ramifications of what's going on here. Because a lot of what we do affects the whole world.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my piece.
Yeah. That's big news. I mean, I just pray that, things come together. I mean, that's really causing a huge mess for the world in general. So that covers our What's Poppin' section.
Yes.
Darren, what's up in Politricks this week?
Well, the first thing, so Trump was supposed to go to Denmark this week, right? He was supposed to go to Denmark. And he canceled the trip because the prime minister told him that it was an absurd idea for him to try to buy Greenland. So he said, you know what, the prime minister is being very disrespectful to me. She didn't have to say it that way. She didn't have to be as disrespectful as she was. So I'm going to cancel my trip. So literally, the lady just literally said, hey, look, motherfucker.
It's not a good idea.
Well, it's not only is it a good idea,
It's not
it's not for sale.
It's not for sale. Why would
You want me
do
to
that?
appease you talking about the land being for sale, and it's not even for sale.
Right.
That just doesn't make any sense. And for him to get offended or get mad, like
It just don't make no sense at
what
all.
He's
He's crazy.
He's
like
an idiot.
He's literally a narcissistic pig. Like for real, our president is a narcissistic person.
I don't know. That ain't my president.
I like saying that, and then every time he does it.
That is not my president. That is an idiot. That is just in office right
That
now.
guy. A lot of people refer to him as that guy. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, he is ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Right now, Trump is at the G7 summit over in France. They thought that he wasn't even going to go because he looks weak now.
Mm-hmm.
He looks weak.
Totally.
He's been weak this whole time, but he really looks weak this past week because also what happened in the stock market is that the stock market took a big dip because the recession is on the horizon. And with all these tariffs that are coming from China, with the trade war intensifying, he doesn't have an answer.
Yeah.
He does not know what to do. So how are we going to solve a trade war besides intensifying? Yeah, he just talks in circles. And none of what he says...
He never answers the question.
Well, and because he's not consistent.
No.
How the hell are you going to be a leader and you're not even fucking consistent? Excuse my language. You're not even consistent with anything. One day you say this and then the next day you say that. How is anybody supposed to take any direction from somebody as obtuse as you?
Yeah.
So the stock market, businesses, they don't like that uncertainty.
Right.
Farmers and stuff like that, they can't buy no damn new equipment not knowing whether or not the price of soybeans is going to go up or whether or not their crops is going to go up or down. It's uncertainty.
It's terrible.
So, but literally most of these sectors are going to be affected. If December comes and China institutes another round of tariffs on us, everything's going to go up. So that means that even those developers who need to build those housing units out here in LA, they're not going to be able to come up with an accurate forecast of what the project is going to cost because these materials are going to increase because we get damn near half the shit that comes in this country from China anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that guy just really.
So look what this idiot does. So on Friday, this idiot sends out a directive saying, this is an order for all businesses in America that you guys have to find an alternative place to manufacture your goods outside of China or bring the jobs back to America. Come on, man.
What? He's really trying to.
What?
No, the guy's a fucking, the guy's a maniac.
Yeah, he is.
He does not know how to handle this stuff, and a lot of people are turning on him too. Remember that guy Anthony Scaramucci? Just 2 weeks ago, Anthony Scaramucci was on Bill Maher talking about how he supported the president. Trump goes and says, "Hey, Anthony Scaramucci, you're a dog," and all this kind of stuff. And so now Anthony Scaramucci says that he's gonna build a coalition to fight against Trump. And if you guys don't remember who Anthony Scaramucci was, he was a guy who came in, only lasted like about a week in the job as the White House communications director. So, he's building enemies left and right.
Yeah,
so much enemies that now former Congressman Joe Walsh is going to be running a primary against him, and other Republicans may soon follow in primarying Trump, which would be good. We haven't seen that. I don't think any of us have seen a sitting president have to go through a primary process.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is that a lot of these Republicans, they're probably going to either vote for him or vote for somebody like John Kasich or something like that on the ballot because they just cannot bring themselves to vote for this idiot.
Yeah, he's causing too much havoc. Like really, and you're right, Darren. I like that term that you use. He's a maniac. Like just making terrible decisions, and it's pulled our deficit into like an unsurmountable, like it's just trillions of dollars.
Trillions, not billions, not millions, but trillions.
Yeah,
We've gotten to the trillions.
We've gotten into the trillions of deficit.
Like that's
And his
ridiculous.
promise was that he was gonna
To get us out.
Right. Right, because Obama put us in deficit.
Right, get the hell out of here.
Uh-huh.
Obama tried to undo
And he
all
did.
the 8 years that Bush put us in, and he actually took us out of that in the 8 years he was in office, or at least started.
Right.
We were tackling
We were.
our deficit.
Tackling.
But all those Republicans who for years castigate, put Obama underneath the bus by saying, hey, this guy is spending too much money, with the
What
federal
the fuck?
deficit
You gotta
because
spend some money to
Right.
freaking.
for stimulus we have to
We needed a
invest.
stimulus
We need a
package.
stimulus, and look at how much investment that had went into rebuilding roads,
Yes.
bridges, putting people back to work.
Right.
But now we're in deficits because we have cut the tax rate for businesses from 35% to 20%, right? So literally, what they found out was for last year's tax bill, which was the first year that the Republican tax cuts took effect, that Americans on average paid more taxes out of pocket.
Yeah.
We paid more money last year, right? So taxes increased for regular
Yeah, they
Americans,
did.
right?
Yeah.
And yet and still, the national deficit is going to approach $1 trillion.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just talking about a yearly deficit,
Right.
not the national debt, but the yearly annual deficit is going to approach $1 trillion. So we're spending more than we're bringing in. Does that make any sense? And we got companies like Amazon and General Electric not paying a damn cent.
And I don't get it because Amazon is so. It's,
And they're not paying their fair share.
Yeah. This American society is very, very.
No, but the thing is, but let's talk about real quick about like a congresswoman named Katie Porter, who's a congresswoman out here from Orange County. A few weeks ago, she got Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, right?
Okay.
And she was asking him, how come, she was saying to him with specific evidence, do you know that the bank tellers in Orange County that work for your bank, they cannot even support themselves?
Yeah.
Making the $14 an hour, they go into debt just trying to survive. Now, what is your company? Are you aware of that? And Jamie Dimon didn't know. He couldn't answer that question. But because she put him on the spot like that, then Jamie Dimon now is talking about, because for years, if you're in businesses, then the responsibility is to what? The shareholder.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
The people who own shareholders, right? So all the they raise prices, they increase the dividends for their shareholders, make sure that the shareholders' value remains intact, right? But now they're coming out with a new term called stakeholders. That we can't just look out for shareholders, we have to look out for stakeholders. And what are stakeholders? So stakeholders include shareholders, but they also include employees, they also include communities that the businesses are in, that the Chase banks are in, and also the other businesses that they work with.
Right.
Right? So because she was able to ask them poignant questions, then now he was put on the spot, now he has to answer to it. I want to congratulate people like Katie Porter because she was actually asking the questions.
Good.
But let's just speak about Katie Porter just in general, in that she doesn't take any PAC money. So she's not getting paid by these lobbyists. A lot of these Congress people are.
Yeah,
they are.
They're paid. They're paid by the oil company. They're paid by these special interest groups so that the oil companies say, hey, look, man, I gave you $10,000. I see you voted for this bill. You better not vote for this.
Right.
And the congressperson's like, oh my God.
I need this money.
I need this money. I won't vote for that. You're my constituent. I'm your bitch.
Basically.
So, but we need more Congress people out here who are going to be asking these tough questions to these
totally.
business people so that they can be accountable to the American people.
You were here.
Yeah.
Yes,
So anyway.
that's basically what the hell it is, okay?
Anyway.
Cash rules every fucking thing. And everybody who throws some damn cash at them, their morals and ethics go out the motherfucking window. That's just that on that.
All right, I just want to sing a celebration, you guys. David Koch is dead. Yeah. David Koch is dead.
Oh my God.
Yeah. David Koch is dead. Yeah.
You got
Why are you celebrating?
That motherfucker is dead. 6 feet under your bed.
I cannot.
So-
You are smart.
Who
Oh,
is
the Koch brothers.
So you don't know who the Koch brothers are?
Oh wait, yeah, okay, wait.
So the Koch brothers are these two industrious brothers, right, who took over Koch Industries.
Right.
So their
right,
father
right,
started
right.
an oil company, right?
Yes.
And they took that company and basically began buying other companies.
Right.
So literally, so if you have a seatbelt in your car, they make it.
Mm-hmm.
If you get much of the materials, and I'm talking about just paper materials. If you use Brownie, if you use Bounce, if you use them automatic paper dispensers in the bathroom,
Yep.
that's made by Georgia Pacific, who also makes a lot of other household, items for building construction. You know, they make a lot of stuff. They own a lot of things, right? But they are some of the major funders
Of the GOP.
not just of the GOP, but just of so basically the reason why we can't have new laws about greenhouse gas emissions and stuff like that is because of them. Because they pay for those Congress people not to do it.
Not to put it on the ballot.
Right.
Not to bring
They
it up.
fund a lot of these politicians in order for them to shut up. So if there has been any two group of men in the history of this country that have stymied progress, it has been these two men.
Damn idiots.
So we celebrate.
You know?
Celebrate the time. Come on.
So one of the brothers is dead, but the other one is still alive. You know, so still the same.
But wait, Derek, didn't you say they got kids and they gave their kids like some of the want their kids?
I don't know who the hell their
continue
kids
to
are,
do-
but their kids they might can still do it. I don't know. I don't know their kids.
Child, I hope they all die and burn in hell. I'm sorry.
My bad. I said.
Forgive me, God. I didn't mean that, okay?
Oh, every time. Every time. That's so Samuel L. Jackson. That is like one of the most classic.
Oh my. He deserved to die and I hope he burns in hell.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
Anyways.
Finishing up with some latest news. Las Perlas, which is a bar restaurant in downtown.
Yeah, it is a bar right there on 6th and Main Street in downtown LA.
They have a history of discrimination towards trans women, and there was recently an incident that occurred that was videotaped, and these trans women were being spoken to in very derogatory ways and were pretty much kicked out of the restaurant. So there was a
So it was
protest.
nobody that was standing up for them.
No, and then there was a protest the next day.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, then that was the.
Yeah, yesterday was the initiation of downtown LA Pride, I think.
Uh-huh.
And you had this incident that happened on Friday.
Right.
Ironically.
Against the community, yeah.
Right, on the first day of downtown LA Pride, on the first day, they throw out these, I think it was 2 trans women of color who got kicked out of this bar after they were being harassed by a heterosexual couple.
Wow.
So this couple was talking mess to him, you know, using all kind of rude and, you know, disrespectful, offensive language. And what the manager said was like, okay, you guys all get out. But apparently,
the heterosexual couple.
right, apparently, right? But what really happened was that the trans women got kicked out and the heterosexual couple stayed, according to reports.
Wow.
That ain't right. That is not.
So now there is a massive boycott of Las Perlas and of the Pouring for Heart hospitality group, formerly known as the 213 Hospitality Group, because this guy, Sid Moses, he owns a lot of bars downtown, including like Kanye Rum Bar, Bar Clarkson, Cole's, did I say Kanye Rum Bar?
Yeah.
Broadway Bar, you know, a lot of different bars downtown he owns. So people were talking about boycotting his
All of his restaurants.
all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's real deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that closes up our new music, What's Poppin' in Politricks this week.
Yay.
Any final thoughts, messages to
We don't have a question today.
Yeah, we had a full pack.
Yeah, we had a full pack day. I do have a question for next time, and I'm gonna bring it up next time for discussion.
Bullet from an out to play. Okay. Anyways, guys.
Yeah, let's go to our
Proverbs
3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Have a good one.
Great week, guys. God bless.
Jay, what about tonight? Only one at a time.